Haha, we got cookies, you ain't got nothing.
We got cookies, you do not. We got cookies, you do not. Oh.
Haha, we got cookies, you ain't got nothing. Yes, we got some cookies with us. This is JTH.
No, for real.
We wanted to do a little bit of a different opening than Sonic's, and my mom brought in some cookies for us. If you saw at the end of part 1, so we wanted yeah, we got cookies, you ain't got nothing. Anyways, we are going to be continuing with part 2 of Big Mac the Gardener. This is a really weird story.
Yeah. Goddamn.
But Tails the Hero said that's Gray Racer for you.
Yep.
I guess he reads a lot of weird fanfics.
Yeah, he enjoys weird stuff.
Anyways, let's get on with this. And this one isn't very long. It's only a little over 1,000 words. So this shouldn't take too long. Mac felt the dripping wet petals moving all around his lips. He quivered, his mind swirling with odd feeling. She's a plant. It feels like I'm kissing Rarity. Almost. His head moved side to side as the petals nudged around his lips. He reached in with his tongue and danced it around a bit, trying the same moves that he would with a mare. The inside of the flower seemed as smooth and as wet as he could have imaged, with him slurping in filmy something like sparkly powdered sugar. After only a matter of seconds, Mac had gone into full passionate making out. His head slid from side to side as he let out small moans. Moist, smooth petals touched all over his face. The vines traveled across his chest and belly, picking him up and placing him right in the air a few inches above the plant. He felt other tulips nipping up against his back and around his flanks. He broke the kiss, seeing that one beautiful flower very close to his petals as it hovered from his lips and rubbing along his neck. I ain't sure what in tarnation is going on, Mac muttered, glancing around as dozens of other tulips moved across his body. But I sure as hey am liking it. Vines loosely swung up all around all 4 of his hooves. He felt nothing like captivity, far more seductive touching. Okay. He made a half scream as a dozen more flowers opened up, started to nestle their petals along his fur. Kisses, kisses, it's like every inch of me is being kissed. The contrast of the slippery green vines along his tough, muscular sides seemed totally amazing. He felt the alpha flower, the one apparently in charge of the rest, curl up against his cheeks and stroke like the stroke of a mare's hoof. Think you can? This isn't a very long paragraph. You think you can read this?
I can try.
Yeah, just try.
Over between his legs, he felt the flowers coming close to touching him, but still hesitating. They all hovered several inches away
in the air.
He looked down, seeing how. Go ahead. How hard his cold hood had gotten.
And he smirked.
Well, then, what you
been waiting for?
Oh.
He turned to the right, looking at the alpha flower. Why pausing? The whole plant pushed up farther in the air, suddenly making him let out a oof. The alpha flower positioned itself right up above his eyes. It slid from side to side. Mac hugged his head, trying to think. Wow, I really wish we could talk. The petals opened up and looked down his belly again. The vines were slipping across his sides as the wet tulips were waiting just above his cold hood. Something's wrong? What did Zecora say? He flashed back through her cryptic words. Magical love. That the plant needs to reproduce soon, with its life getting short. He suddenly realized as the alpha flower kissed his forehead. Okay. His forehead. Consent, Max said. He whistled, clamping his front hooves together. The vine served up and down his legs as he moved. She ain't wantin' to molest any old stallion, human, zebra, or any that comes her way. Of course not. She ain't that kind of girl. She wants a full, complete consent leading to a happy, pollination.
Are you serious, bro? For real? Like, does he literally have to, have sex with a flower in order to pollinate it? This is weird.
His eyes followed the alpha tulip as it shook up and down. Well then, Sugar Cube. Hey, that's Applejack's line.
No.
He made a short side, patting alongside the tulip's side with his hoof. You got it. Mind, heart, body, and soul. The answer is yes. I'm happy to pop your, flower cherry. He heard such an odd noise. His ears flopped, sensing something like a set of soft squeaking sounds from a scooter's horn being touched. He opened his mouth to see something back at the alpha tulip and immediately kissed him once again. His eyes closed as he held its vine with his hooves. Smooth wet pegals wiggled across his cold hood. He shivered, making a low groan. 2 flowers opened up and kissed his... Sure you didn't mean to say testicles instead of tentacles? People with their typos. Well, people make mistakes. Cradling them in such a delicate way. Vines and petals swirled along the shaft of his rod. He pressed against the alpha tulip with both hooves. He couldn't think of anything in his entire life like the strange sensations. Pleasure just overwhelmed his mind, coming all from all across his body as the endless tulip kisses went on. So slippery, so wet. So slippery, so wet. Praise Celestia, Mac muttered. The alpha tulip broke the kiss and saw his thick saliva trailing from inside the petals and dripping along his neck. Oh gosh, I want her. It's so weird, but it's so wrong. Jolts of joy burst up his sides as the smaller flowers ran their petals along his cold hood. He watched with bated breath as the alpha tulip slid down his chest and belly. It swirled around and poised itself right atop his throbbing hard cold hood. Oh sweet goodness. She's really gonna. He made a half scream as the alpha tulip, I reversed the words, damn it. As the alpha tulip slithered over his cold hood. He felt her petals enclosing over the head of his thing as the rubbery wet stigma rubbed against the tip. Sheer pleasure rocketed up his insides. It felt unbelievably weird, but so unbelievably wonderful. The petals curled around, milking him. Smooth, gentle touches bathed his every last inch of his cold hood. Lagging on us again. Derp. This happened in the last chapter.
Again, why I hate laptops.
There we go. Lagging? Why you lag?
It's not lagging, it's freezing.
Why you freeze?
Mac had it's a screwy.
You're telling me, well, like you said, that's Gray Racer.
Another crash report. Yay. Yeah, you can read that part.
Mac had long prided himself on how long he could last. A fact chatted about from mare to mare at lunch after lunch. Yet he couldn't control himself. The constant stimulation held it right up into the line already. He bucked, feeling the sticky pre-cum leaking out already. 4 flowers wrapped all around his neck, kissing them more passionately and tenderly than he had ever felt from a mare. The vines constricted along his cold hood. Pleasure after pleasure piled on inside his mind. He made a long, embarrassingly feminine whine as the alpha tulip seemed to start sucking. Her petals gripped him so snugly. The vines got tighter as the kisses seemed to get messier and messier. Finally, he felt her stigma pressed against the tip of his rod. He sensed something like dozens of fireworks of pleasure going off. Mac could take no more. He let out a loud, huge moan as he sped right over the line. He emptied himself into the alpha tulip, spreading every inch that he could. He kicked with all 4 of his hooves, feeling the vines trying in vain to keep him under control. Sheer bliss filled every last corner of his mind, sending him into a pure paradise. He took a deep breath and smiled. The plant gently moved him down, its vines propping him up along the soft green grass. Flowers and vines softly curled off his body. He remained pretty still, simply panting hard. He took his sweet time climbing down. Holy sweet hay, I haven't felt that good in months upon months. Rarity, eat your heart out.
Lols.
Yeah, that was lulz. Mac glanced over and saw the flowers returning to normal, swaying still as if they were any other plant. The vines dug back underground amidst the pile of leaves. Still the apple tulip stuck out 2 feet in the air, swaying from side to side a little. Max smiled even wider as he saw his thick white cream dripping across the top of the petals. The tulip enclosed tightly, determined to keep every last drop.
Oh.
The yellow marks along the pink slide seemed to turn even darker, now shining with a golden-like color. Oh shoot, she's actually blushing.
What?
Aww, Mac muttered, standing up. He blushed as well, with his strong red cheeks somehow becoming even redder. He still felt totally energized and happier than he had been for so long. He stepped over and rubbed his hoof delicately along the side of the apple tulip. It turned to his side, shaking up and down. Well, I'll see you again soon. The apple tulip slunk down and buried itself amidst the pile of tulips. Golden sparks being some kind of magic flicked across the whole plant. Max shrugged. He waved as he turned around. He eyed the rabbit-like hole out of the clearing. I guess she's pregnant now?
Oh, what?
He asked to no pony in particular. He tried to force out all the weird thoughts in his mind as he headed off. Blasted Sakura, you need to level me up with how this is all supposed to work. He dug his head into the dirt hole.
This is weird. The fuck, Ray Racer?
The world turned black. He heard a swirling sound and ended up being knocked forwards. He blew out a deep breath and wiggled his head. He found himself lying down in the same familiar riverbed before. Sakura, I need some more info on all this oddness. Ugh. He stood and shook out the water in front of him. It's all so weird. Such mysteries everywhere with that zebra. He could at least take solace in one fact. Gardening was definitely his new favorite hobby. To be continued. Ray Racer. WTB.
What the fuck, I like it. Anyway, that was very interesting.
Interesting.
I'm being odd.
So am I. Because this fanfic is odd.
He hasn't texted me back yet, but we will probably hear from him sooner or later. But anyway,
This is
this has
JTH.
got to be the weirdest fanfic we've ever read.
And you know, this is JTH.
And Mr. Jealous the Hero.
And as we said before, we got cookies, you ain't got nothing.
iPod. iPod.
And sonic screwdrivers.
Alright,
The
get
4th
out.
and the 10th. Goodbye, and we will see you in the last part.